stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Right, I think I shared it to all the right places. A little bit easier when my internet's working right. So, welcome. Probably shouldn't have chugged some soda right before I came on. Well, let people kind of get in. I'm excited. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I'm happy. There's a lot of things going on. And I've always found the best way to kind of alleviate these things is by running my mouth in the right arena. See, I've had to learn a lot of things in the last 4 or 5 years to do what it is that I need to do. And this stuff takes time. It doesn't just happen. I wish it did. It'd be a lot easier, right? So I'm just kind of waiting for people to join. I like when people join and leave. Don't bother. I ain't gonna worry about that today. Yeah, probably should not play with that. You guys don't want to hear me play with this, right? Click, 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 click. So I don't. There's no pins. I don't keep pins right here. So I don't pick up click, 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 click. Because we do things. Sometimes we do things without thinking about them as like a nervous twitch or something. That's why I use my hands a lot when I'm talking. No, I'm not Italian, my friends. Joey, have you ever noticed that when you watch movies, at least the old ones, they're always looking for Joey, and they can never find him. I want to find this Joey dude, man. Hey, have you seen Joey? Where the fuck is Joey? I fucking lost everybody on that one. We're at the 3-minute mark. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. This is not the Daily Trudge. Let me talk about the future of trudging together. I guess some people, please say hello whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. We got some cool things coming up. I understand I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm okay with that. I don't want to be everybody's cup of tea because then everybody would be up my butt. And I don't want that either. All right. So what are some of the major things that Trudging Together does? Our number one thing is our podcasting. Okay. And podcasting will probably always be one of our main things. It is not our money maker. Okay. Trudging Together doesn't make any money yet. It's getting there. Like I said, these things take time. The right things need to be in the right place in order for things to work. Okay. Right now we're looking for a location. I need a location bad. Like bad. So our podcasting, I like to talk about the podcasting first. When I started the podcast, my dreams of what it would be were a lot different, right? Because I know a lot of people. I have a lot of acquaintances. I'm good at getting people to come on my show and speak. I'm good at closing. I was a salesperson for a long time. But I found that it started to turn into a safe space for those to come and tell their story that normally cannot. That makes sense, right? Just the other day, I was talking with a guy next to one of my sponsees, and the podcast came up, and I told him I wouldn't have you as a guest. because as a parent, you're used to talking in front of people. It's not a problem for him. He's not the person for for my podcast. Maybe for some of our other ones, but and that's really it. The storytelling is really, really important. I'm going to tell you, it does suck that nobody's here, but I just went live too, and yeah, probably I don't seem to think of the time when I should do this, so there's that too. But well, let me describe it this way: coming on here and telling everybody all the neat things that we're doing and nobody here is like buying a new car and nobody ever seeing it. See, your car isn't cool your new car isn't cool until somebody else sees it, like your best friend. Other than that, it's just a car. If that makes sense. Anyway, so I was talking about podcasting. Looks like we got some people. If you could say hello, that'd be fantastic. So our podcasting, we're going to be increasing it. So that person didn't like it either. So I am looking for more podcasters. Okay. And maybe you want a podcast, but you don't know how. Well, I can help you. I can help you get it out there. Just reach out. You'll end up being under the Trudging Together banner. Okay. But I can get you started on podcasting. I need CA. I need OA. I don't need OA. I need, you know what would be fantastic is an LGBTQ recovery podcast. See, and a women's podcast, a men's podcast, where we can get a little bit more individualized, right? I'm always looking for new speakers, always. Remember that we have our OA podcast, and then we also have Dragonflower, which is a fantastic listen. Bobby and Mandy are great. They are great, fantastic addition. I'm excited to have them on. Okay. There's some other people that are on. Gary, who runs the OA podcast. Okay, we need some support there. I believe that OA is like the third biggest A besides AA and NA. So it goes AA, NA, OA, right? So it's one of the bigger ones. We also need an NA host. So what this does is it provides an eclectic type of information to other people. But what's really neat about our podcast, okay, there's a reason it's called Raw Recovery. We get raw, man, because these people have been holding this stuff inside for years and they need to talk about it. Okay, but they don't want to go up on stage and talk to 100 people. For that, they would never be able to get their story out the way that they would like to, right? So what we do is we make a safe space for them to come tell their story. Okay? I'm doing this for quite some time, and I think I've had one troll. Okay? Trudging Together is personal. We are not here for promotion. Okay? The next thing that we do is the Daily Trudge. That's something that I do every single day. I go live every single day and talk on a particular topic, usually out of the daily reflections. Okay, you're going to kind of see some changes in that. Okay, I may not be the one hosting it on certain days, so we're going to kind of try and that may not go over well. Right? They're gonna be like, where's Dion? Because they're used to me or whatever. But sometimes change is good. We need that other part. Like today we had Stacy on. It was a little but it still works. It still works very, very well. I love the Daily Trudge, and I will continue doing it every day until God tells me to stop. Okay. But it's actually a part of my life. If I didn't do the Daily Trudge, it'd feel like I missed out on a meeting that day. It really would. And then would I be out there, and that all started because I needed my own safe space. I needed that. So see, I went through all of this live. If you go back to the daily reflections 4 years ago, you're not going to see the same Dion. Mm-mm. No, you're going to see me shaking, sweating, stumbling over my words. A lot of times I sounded drunk. Anxiety. All right. What else? What else are we doing? Here's one cool thing that's coming up. And I can't, sometimes people come into your life and they're just fucking amazing. Okay. And Amber is one of those people. She has worked so hard on her recovery. It's just beautiful. She's one of those people that has 5 months going on 5 years. And she reminds me of me when I was that age with the fervor and wanting to get out there. And I brought up prevention about a week ago, and she reached out and said, "Can we do prevention? I would love to do prevention." So, guess what? We're going to start doing prevention. So, how are you going to do that, Dion? I just need to make some calls, man. You'd be amazed. You'd be amazed what happens when you approach certain people the right way. Hey, we're here to help. Heck, we could start with 5280 High School. What a great place to start. That's what it's for. Go down there and maybe start a team, get some of these kids off the street, get them into some action. And they could probably get paid for it. There's a way to do that. I'd rather not use grants, but in that case, if I need to use a government grant, we can. That would not go against the podcast. Everything else, no government interference. That's what's taken me so long. Okay. See, I want to be a RCO, which is a recovery center organization, recovery center. I think that's the TLA for that. Okay. But there's so many RCOs out there that are just running the gamut. And I don't want to be like the other RCOs. Right? So, yeah, there's low hanging fruit, and I could go out and get a couple grants, but then I'm going to have to follow certain rules that just won't fit with what we do, like how we can help people. See, things start getting restrictive. And people think you could just avoid those and we'll just work around them. No, that's not what's going to happen. Sooner or later, the IRS will come along. Sooner or later. If you're an RCA making a hand over fist, the IRS probably can come and look at you. Okay. Keep an eye out. What kind of car do they drive? Well, can't really say that. I drive a Benz. Okay. But it was given to me dirt cheap. It's a great car. It was given to me dirt cheap. Okay. That's God providing. What had happened is I was driving to work one day and I said, "God, I don't need anything spectacular, but can I please have a car that doesn't have a check engine light on?" That's what he gave me. So I was not expecting that. I don't mind driving piece of shit cars, but it is kind of nice. It is kind of nice. So our prevention team can do a lot more. Okay. And with that is going to come, outreach. And prevention is where everything starts. And we've got a couple prevention teams here already, but we should have like 8 for each area, man. There's a lot of schools. Okay. Here's the key to that. You got to go to the right schools. See, there's a big difference between what I do and what everybody else is doing. Okay. I will not bring Medicaid into all of this. It's not entirely true, maybe for recovery coaching. Speaking of which, recovery coaching. Well, yes, we do recovery coaches. If you're a recovery coach, then we're starting that up. Stacy and I will be putting stuff out on the website. And if you want to be a recovery coach, reach out. We're going to have to get you some training. but we'll get you the right training. We'll get you to the right people. Okay. I prefer either Odyssey or C-Car. Okay. C-Car is a fantastic company. They are based out of Massachusetts. So the unfortunate thing is sometimes they let trainers just be trainers, and it's the trainers that are doing the stuff that I don't appreciate. Okay. As a heads up, if you are a recovery coach and you have less than a year, I will not take you on. I won't. You got to put in the time. Okay. Like right now, I'll give you a good example. Amber. Amber's a great example. Right? She's got 5 months pounding this out. She'd make a fantastic recovery coach. But I would fail her doing that right now. Yeah. 1 year. Okay. For everybody. I wasn't ready to recovery coach until I was like 3-4 years sober. And even then, I don't know. The recovery home and sober livings. I've made the decision. I'm going to start on sober livings also. And there's a great reason for it. There's a great reason for it. But let's talk about the recovery home. The recovery home is going to be for homeless and vets with SUD only and all male. This house. I am going to be opening one up for females. In fact, it might even be better just to open one for females instead. Honestly. Because there's a lot more females coming into the program that need help. That's not a bad idea, Dion. Okay. Yeah, why do we always lean to the men first? Well, here's the thing is there's a balance in that. So if you guys have suggestions on that, that would be cool. Should I open a men's house or a women's house first? Okay. But this is for people that are homeless and vets with SUD only. It was just going to be homeless. Okay. But a lot of my fundraising comes from the vet side. Okay. And I love vets. I do. You want to know why? Because I love my freedom. My freedom is the number one thing. I have a lot of respect. I signed up for the armed forces myself. I did not pass the psychological test. Probably a good thing, too. I would have been dishonorably discharged. I don't think I would have made it. I'm just being honest with myself. The recovery home is for homeless because a lot of times the only outlet that they really have is sober living. And sober livings, you need to work. It's just how it is. Because you got to be able to pay your rent, right? Okay. So, first off, it is a year program. They're not going to be allowed to work for at least the first 3 months. Hey, Mandy, I hope you're feeling okay. Mandy's down with the sickness. Disturbed was the last time I moshed. I was 31. Okay, I'm 52 now. That's how long Disturbed's been around. Wow. I came out of that mosh. I was wearing a hat, and there was sweat dripping off the brim of my hat. Man, I was sore for a week. I did not mosh again. No more moshing for Dion. All right. What's going to be cool about these homes is it's all about everything I do is reintegration. Do you actually think that it's just homeless that need reintegration in society? No. Every single person in recovery needs that. Okay. But the people with homes and internet and everything, you can get it pretty readily. But for homeless and vets, no. Mm-mm. Okay. Well, yeah, just send me a text. I have a phone. I had a phone, but it was stolen. Right. See, I also understand homelessness works because I was homeless twice. And I know what it's like. Your day is mandated by everyone else. Okay. Are there people that want to stay on the streets? Yeah. Yeah, there is. Let them. Let them. And I'm not going to get into the argument of why we can't house our homeless because It always comes down to one thing. Oh, it's not zoned right. Fuck you and your zoning. How about that? How about double fuck you and your zoning? Well, it's just not safe. Because the side of the highway is. Okay. All right. So what we're doing is we're giving these folks a chance. Okay. They don't want you to just put a roof over their head and call it good. Most of them would tell you no. Do you know that? They would? Yeah. Why? Because what they don't want to feel like they're mooching. Okay. Most homeless people don't pedal for change. That's only a few certain ones. Okay. These people have great skills. Okay. And I've been in a situation before where I lived in a halfway house with homeless alcoholics, and it was run by us. And the community, the camaraderie was spectacular. It was spectacular. I was 18. Okay. Closest person to me was 32. So you can imagine. But they did not treat me any differently than anyone else. No. In fact, I got grounded at one point. All right. With that, they can move on into what we call sober livings, or maybe sober living into that, or it just kind of depends on the person. But what it comes down to is each one of these places has what they need in order to help the person. Okay. None of them are caseworkers. There are no therapists. That's dangerous, Dion. No, it's not. We outsource that. We outsource that. I can pay a therapist to come down and talk to people. See, the program's free. They don't pay anything. And then what we're going to do is we're going to utilize their passions, their abilities. Okay? It gets better. It gets better. Yesterday, I got a phone call. Hey, brother. Happy 7th birthday. I love you. Love you too, Mark. What I do for you? Well, we can put some people to work in recovery. Oh, fuck yeah. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Name of the program is called Trash Talk. That'll give you an idea. Okay. It does have to do with removing trash, but it's not a trash person. And it's good money. It's a good job. And that's just the beginning. Okay. Those companies are going to be run by people in recovery. What is it all about? It's all about giving back to the community. That's what Trudging Together does. It takes a hopeless drunk and reintegrates them back into society. Now you know why it's taken me so long. Now you know why it takes time. Some of these RCOs just popped up. Right. I am going to say one thing about it. Every time a new RCO opens up, I get an email from them. That means that somebody sold my email, a different RCO, and I know who it is. Okay. Does that seem like a big deal? No, it's not a big deal. Yes, it is. Kinda. Okay. Because if that person can't handle that level of honesty and truth, then what are they really doing? Okay. White lies are just as bad as any other lie. Okay. Let's call it a yellow lie. Why does it need to be white? Let's just call it small. It's stupid. So, as you can see, I'm getting very excited about this, and I need to come on and talk about it. But there's more. There's always going to be more, right? So If you've wanted to be a part of Trudging Together, oh, you know what? I'm going to save that till last. Okay. Tomorrow evening we have a meeting. Okay. I have my base people right now. Okay, and they include Gary. You guys know Gary. You know Mandy. She's here. Bobby, Stacy, Amber, and myself. And each person, every single person in that group meets others where they're at. And it's all about, we all have the same goal to help one person a day. Well, now it's not just Dion. Now it's 6 people doing it. Okay. When I did it, it made it an effect. So imagine what 6 people can do with the same intentions, with the same thought process. And I know what direction we need to go. How is going to be dependent upon them. Okay. I'm the kind of person, yes, I own the business, but I don't act like an owner. Okay. I want everybody's suggestions. I want to hear about it. Even the bad stuff. There's people that have approached me and said, hey, Dion, you kind of need to slow down on this. Like my swearing, which has gotten kind of bad again lately. It's probably what ran people off earlier. I can't help it. It's who I am. Anyway. There's one other thing that we are going to be doing, which I think is going to be really cool, is all the hosts are going to start hosting with other people now. And then we're also thinking about coming up with a podcast that's all 6 of us at the same time, right? Thank you, Mandy. Not many people give me permission to do that. Thank you. Sometimes you need permission to be okay. Do you know that? I do that with people all the time. Hey, I'm going to give you permission to go ahead and be happy today. You can do that for yourself, can't you? Yes, you can. Yes, you got to do it, right? You know what's even cooler? Half our people in other states, right? Mandy's in North Carolina. So just imagine what we can also do in North Carolina. See, when I'm done with this, I'm setting it up. It's a cookie cutter thing. I know that sounds weird with everything I just talked about. Okay. Alabama. Thank you. Alabama. Woo. Montgomery. I know my capitals. Please don't test me on them. I got lucky. It may be wrong. But as you can see, once this starts to happen, Trudging Together is going to go from this to that. And it's almost going to feel like it's overnight, but it's not. We've done a lot of hard work. Every single one of us has done a lot of hard work to get us where we're at. And I'm Canadian. I know nothing. That's true. I'm just kidding. I love Canucks, man. I love Canucks. So I know nothing. Oh no. On some days, I think I'd rather live in Canada. So to finalize this, I think the only person that's going to watch it is Mandy. If I'm going to probably write this stuff out too. If you wanted to be a part of Trudging Together, especially if you're in Colorado, now's the time. Now is the time. I don't care how much time you have. I just want to hear your passion. Right? But I'll always be straightforward with you. I will let you know. Because sometimes people come to me with their passion, but you're not ready yet. I wasn't ready yet. Do you know how many times my sponsor told me no? Every week. Well, now I want to do this. Now I want to do that. I just texted him on my cell phone. Now I'm doing it. He's like, yeah. But see, because he knew I would fuck it up if I would have gone that route. Okay. And I had been in the program 12 years before. I was a drug and alcohol counselor. I'd won all sorts of awards. I've been on TV. I've been on radio, giving my story. So what does that tell you? Don't get out of the sunlight of the spirit. All right. I'm glad. I am glad that I'm good at talking to myself. So, all right. Thank you, Mandy, for being here and hanging out because I know you're not feeling well. So thank you. It was nice to have a little bit of support here. So, all right. Thank you, everybody. I love you. Peace out and have a day.